Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome back to the truth and nothing but the truth. So, help me God. So, what on earth is going on? The other night I was at a lecture from a quantum physics professor, and what he said is absolutely mind blowing. And that is, even though I know a little bit about quantum physics and it's all quite well known that the universe is popping in and out of existence, which itself is quite amazing. But this is quite amazing, which is where is the universe coming from, right? So we know it's going out of existence, and we can sort of imagine out of existence, which we can't really imagine where is out of existence. But the question is, where is out of existence? And in fact, this man has become a religious and a Chabad Jew because he found that Kabbalah, and particularly Chabad Chassidus, it clarifies and explains how this stuff works. And effectively, it's based exactly on what the Kabbalists tell us remarkably thousands of years ago, and that is that there is a process called Rotzoi Veshuv. Rotzoi means the energy emanates, pulsates out of God, and then it goes into sort of the state of existence and then goes back into the state of God. But what exactly is the state of God that precedes existence? And this, my friends, is a very deep question. And ultimately, we have to understand that the state of God, like everything that exists, is a combination of a body and a soul. And as he was sort of alluding to this in his lecture, he said that there is extrinsic and intrinsic properties. So for example, if I looked at you, your extrinsic properties is what I see. But do I see you? No. Do I know you? No. If I lived with you your whole life, I would know you. I would know what bothers you. There's a story told, everything in life is actually a lesson, that a man once went by a bar and he heard one person saying to another, Ivan, do you know, sorry, he said, Ivan, you don't love me. They were both drunk. So Ivan says, what do you mean? Isaac, I love you, I love you. He said, Ivan, if you loved me, you would know what's bothering me. When you know what's bothering someone else, not perfunctory, hi, how are you? But you know their soul, when you don't have to say anything because you know them, you know what they're feeling, that's when you know someone. And so everything that exists has a soul. It has what it's feeling. And then it has a body. Now we find in the Torah, which is only the only self-description of God, that God says, "Vayisatse v'libo," he spoke to his heart, he consulted, he felt this way, he felt that way. We often don't think of God as having feelings. But if God didn't have feelings, he wouldn't have made the world, because he has no reason to make the world apart from wanting to make the world. And where does the desire come from? Only the love in his heart, because effectively there are only two feelings. All feelings stem from two. One is love. I want something or someone. On a deeper level, I am something, or I am someone, or someone is me. And I love them as I love self. As God says, I made man in my image. They are me. And that's why he loves us. Like a parent loves a child, because the parent knows the child is me. And therefore they wish to give to the child. That's true friendship. Not that I look for something from you. But you are me. You're another version of me. So I am you and you are me. And therefore what bothers you bothers me, and vice versa. That's true love. And so love is the only compelling reason when you have the other reason, which is fear, and God doesn't have any fear of extinction, because all fear relates to fear of extinction, and God can't be extinguished. Nothing can extinguish him. Only we who perceive ourselves as bodies, which have temporary life, perceive possibilities of extinction, though in truth we are souls that are eternal in any event. But that's a separate issue. And so therefore, the very essence and the very core of God is, yes, he has feelings. And yes, those feelings can change because he can place himself, I am with you. He can come down like a mother may be greater than her child, but can feel the pain of her child because she loves her child and the child is her. And therefore God can simultaneously come to each and every one of us, and the emotions that we hold, the Kabbalists tell us, are the emotions that God feels. What you feel, he feels. Because you are umbilically connected to his emotional center, because the only reason you exist is because he feels you. And therefore your feelings he feels. A great Rebbe, I think it was the Ruzhiner, when people would come into the synagogue and they would look sad, he says, you're making God sad. And they would be happy. He says, you're making God happy. So you see, my friends, this is the great principle of the Baal Shem Tov. That is, that emotions create reality. In fact, that's what quantum physics discovered. Emotions affect reality. You are affecting everyone and everything, of course, even yourself. And the great mistake of Western scientific thinking was trying to measure things from the outside. What difference does it make? The viscosity of water and the speed of light. What difference it makes is how I feel. Do I feel good? Do I feel bad? Do I feel happy? Do I feel sad? Do I feel love? Do I feel fear? Do I feel confident? Do I feel ashamed? Do I have hope? Do I have depression? These are the things that matter. And so therefore, science, which was to a large extent celebrated by idiots, without going into all the subconscious reasons why people made science into a god, but it was related to escaping truth for some kind of narcissistic and libidic pleasures. But in absolute truth, those of us who have grown up in the secular world and had our fill of these stupidities know that it is all evil at best, stupidity, misery. We have the leading cause of death amongst young people in a certain age bracket, suicide. In the best, most prosperous times, freest times in history. Because our souls crave truth, they crave love, they crave meaning. They don't care about another piece of chicken or a drug or a casual sexual relationship. They care about deep, meaningful relationships. They care about transforming this world, taking away the pain. This is what we care about. For the essence, for God is within us. And so I don't want to make this video too long, but just to conclude, the essence of everything is really its soul. It's not a physical thing. I was speaking to my daughter about this lecture, and I gave her an example. I said a computer. When you think about the essence of a computer, what is it? It's just a computing power. That's all it is. Is it the screen? You can break the screen. It's not what it is. You can break the hard drive. The essence of the computer is an ability to make mathematical equations very quickly. It's a processor. That's all it is. Well, we are not processors. It doesn't matter how many mathematical equations you can make. We are lovers. And if you read my book, I'm going to put a link to it, How to Overcome Fear and Enter into Unconditional Love. As the Rebbe teaches, everybody's your other half. When you see someone, you're seeing your other half. Love them. Care for them. Be ready to sacrifice your life for them. This is your divine redemption.